What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Combo Show. I am Kevin Britton, host of the 12th Man at Arrowhead Drive. Be sure that you tune in every Sunday, every Wednesday, right here on Stadium Drive Sports for all of your Chiefs content. I am here to give it to you. Sean, tell them.
Yo, it's Sean right here from the Royal Way. You can always catch me Mondays and Thursdays. Of course, with your Royals baseball analysis, news, and just talk with you. I'd love to talk with you, whether it be on the text, on the comments down below, during the shows, during the live. Hey, we're here for you. I'm here for you. Kevin, let me know some things about this Chief season because, as you know, I'm stuck here with a strike talking. I don't want to get into it. I'm going to do that on my next episode, though. I'm going to tackle that issue and let everybody know exactly what this is all about and what's holding us up. I think everybody should know. So,
For sure.
yeah, we'll talk about that at a later time. So,
Okay.
anything new with the Chiefs?
Well, so you guys have the strike going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew, but we potentially were running into a potential boycott in football. Now, not on the season, but the combine's coming up, and there was actually a push to have players potentially boycott on the combine. They
Really?
were they were trying to set some pretty strict like bubble type rules where players that were coming to the combine were only allowed to have one representative with them, which is kind of way out of the norm. Because a lot of these guys come with, kind of like an entourage or a staff basically. They're coming with a trainer. They're coming with somebody that's their dietitian. They usually have 4 or 5 guys with them. So the agents were given a lot of pushback, and I'm sure the players were seconding that notion, but. The NFL did go ahead and kind of loosen their grip. They took away the ban of only having one person. So I think we're going to be safe and be able to avoid that for the combine, which is good because that's where the season really starts, is with that combine, getting a look at what these prospects can do, getting those measurements, those 40 times, right? Bench presses for your linemen, things like that. So it's good that it looks like they're going to bypass that. Hopefully, the MLB can bypass the strike on their side sooner rather than later too.
Yeah, I'm sure that there was a lot of ripple effects in time with the coronavirus that went on through the minor leagues. Getting that scouting time that was required in order to get them through to the major leagues or into the minor leagues at a young age through the high schools as well. A lot of that was put at a rest with the coronavirus, as you know, and we're just now catching up to this point. And I tell you what, the Royals did the best job through that time on going ahead and proceeding with their minor league payments. We were paying everybody and keeping everybody staffed, while everyone else around the league was either saying okay and put everything on pause and stop payment and all that. No, Royals are different in their minor league approach. So in that aspect, we handled it well.
Man, speaking of staffed, we have had some movement in the coaching staff on the defensive side.
Yeah.
We have a new defensive line coach. We brought in Joe Cullen. He was most recently with the Ravens as one of their defensive coaches. So he's our new D-line coach, which moves Brendan Daly from the D-line to the linebackers coach, taking place of Matt House, who is now the defensive coordinator for LSU, which is a big deal. That's a huge program to be going to be a defensive coordinator. So Matt House moving on up. He'll be missed, but we got some guys that can do a good job of filling in. But it does get me to kind of posing a question about where we're going to go here. So Spags, how long is Spagnuolo going to be defensive coordinator? And the reason that I think we have to look at that is Spags is very specific about what type of player he wants for his system. My issue with that is if we're building everybody just around his system, right? big, powerful defensive linemen, not necessarily quick, agile. Big, lengthy corners, but not necessarily super agile, right? Well, what happens when we move on from him and we have a different defensive coordinator that has a completely different approach to it? That's a whole nother overhaul of the defense to be able to match what that particular coordinator is kind of wanting to do. And I bring all this up because obviously we run a 4-3 defense right now. That's what Spags is known for. But with Cullen coming in on the defensive line, he can coach any of them. Don't get me wrong. But if you look at his past, he's dealt a lot with a 3-4. And if he were the one to progress to take over for Spags when Spags does leave, do we have to completely revamp what we're doing? I think the one mainstay would be Chris Jones. Chris Jones plays defensive tackle very well in a 4-3, and he's an absolute monster in a 3-4 as a nose tackle as well. So you're still going to have that centerpiece up front. But it just gets me to wondering, like, what are we going to be doing in free agency? What are we going to be doing in the draft? Are we just drafting Spags guys? Or are we drafting people that are able to kind of convert over to a different style as well? So it's going to be interesting. Keep an eye out for what we do specifically at defensive tackle. With what type of guy are we bringing in? Is it just a Spags guy? If that's what we're doing, I'm a little worried in the future. Or are we bringing in somebody that's able to do different things, different systems? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, I did have something that I wanted to talk about real quick. It's a little segment we like to call "Do You Remember the Time?" So, Sean, do you remember the time on September 13th, 2010, the Royals and Chiefs both had home games? Okay. Let me know if it jogs the memory at any point. The Royals played at 2:10 in the afternoon.
Was it against the Minnesota Twins?
It was the Oakland A's.
Oh, okay. So I
That they were
remember
playing
having
against.
one time with the Minnesota Twins.
Yep. This was a Monday night. The Chiefs had the Monday night game, so they played at 9:15.
Oh, okay.
And that was against the San Diego Chargers. So Royals, Chiefs, right there at Truman Sports Complex against two California teams, same night.
Man.
So there was a package deal for that game for tickets. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So if you wanted to go to a Royals game and then walk across the stadium and go to a Chiefs game, you could basically just buy one package.
Does a hotel come with that?
No. You did get a discount on parking.
Okay.
So you had the package, and then you had a discount on parking as well.
Yeah, you should. You stay parked at the same area. You know, it's one big parking lot in Kansas City.
Right. How much do you think the package cost to be able to go to a Chiefs game and a Royals game the same day for one price?
In 2010, oh man, how were our records? Well, I guess that doesn't matter. And that's before parking was raised up to 60. So I would say a good.
I'll tell you the parking. The parking was $25.
Okay.
Take that out of your equation. There was a package just for the tickets to watch
How
the game.
How good are the seats?
I'm looking at best valued price.
Where are we sitting at? What part of the stadium is it?
We're probably with this price. Yeah, we're probably in the cheaper seats. You're not going to sell.
So we're looking to get a bargain, the lowest price to watch both games on the same day. I'm thinking, you know, I don't know if they would raise the price on that aspect, but on any normal day, on a Monday at the Royal Stadium, you can get some high V seats at that time, probably for $6, $10.
What about a Monday night game for the Chiefs, though?
But that is on a whole different page right there. You turn the page for the Chiefs and you read, your receipt on that. It's probably going to read, $150 bucks.
Total for the two?
So total for the two, I'd say $220.
Okay. $68.
Oh my gosh, that would have been one heck of a day to enjoy, man. Just spend a whole day at the sports complex. Got to get the barbecue set up and whatnot.
Yep. To put
It's a
that in perspective, if you wanted to go to a Chiefs game now, without parking's expensive. We all know that. But to go to a Chiefs game now, it's about $94.
okay.
And a Royals game, like the average cost for a ticket for a Royals game would be like $25. So you'd be
Yeah.
looking at what, 119 to go to both if that was to happen, but $68 to go catch a Royals
Wow.
game
And
and
I
then
even
walk over and catch a Chiefs game.
I threw some extra money on the end of my equation just to try to compensate because my
So
original thing was about 160, and even that would have been high.
I don't
Jeez.
know if you've heard the story. I was actually at the Chiefs game that night.
Yeah.
Went with some buddies, went
Oh,
out there
okay.
and watched that game. I didn't do the twofer. I had something going on during the day, so we just went out to the Chiefs game. So during that game was a punt return for a touchdown. Can you guess who returned it?
To Merrick Vanover.
In 2010?
No, I just threw that name out. I just saw him running one back. Okay, how about Dante Hall?
I will give you a hint, okay?
That's why I do the Royal Show. Okay.
I will give you a hint. And if anybody watched our episode on Tuesday of the Combo Show Live, we actually talked about this particular player at the
Ah,
beginning of that
little
show.
hint. Little hint. Oh man.
I'll add to your hint. It was when we were talking about jersey numbers based on
Oh, I know who it is now.
who was
It's
it?
little old Dexter McCluster.
Yep, Dexter McCluster
Yeah, little
ran
zigzag.
back a
Jesus.
94-yard return. So
Yeah.
when he
Actually,
ran that back,
on that. Yeah.
yeah, when he ran that back, I got super excited and I kicked the chair in front of me. The whole back of the seat completely came off,
Oh,
and my buddy tucked it underneath his big jacket that he had on, and we took it home with us.
yeah.
So he still has that I'm pretty sure he still has it at his house. So Jay Rich, if you're watching, you are welcome for the souvenir. But yeah, cool little story, cool little souvenir. He snuck it out, so figured it was only fair that he had it. But
Yeah.
fun times.
Took him only a couple years to replace the seats anyway. So
Yeah, exactly. But so great day for Kansas City sports that day. So the Chiefs ended up winning that Monday night game versus the Chargers, 21-14.
okay, I was wondering what the score was.
Yeah, so that McCluster touchdown ended up being the difference. It was our last touchdown of the game, put us up 21-7. They scored another 7 at some point in the third quarter, but we still won because of that touchdown. Your Royals ended up winning as well. They actually won 11-3 that day.
Ow,
So
jeez.
both of them came out with wins. The Royals starting pitcher was Zach Greinke that day, and Greinke pitched 6 scoreless innings.
Wow. In 2010, huh?
Yep.
Okay. 6 scoreless innings. Well, let me tell you about a game that I attended that dealt with Zach Greinke, and it happened on August 25th, the year before in 2009.
Okay.
Me and my friend Robert, we got tickets to the game, got some good seats right behind the Royals dugout, and Greinke struck out 15 batters during that game. And
Ooh.
what was cool about it was some of the fans were ready. Along the third base side, they stuck out those Ks, so they started
Oh
right
yeah.
about 8 or 9 in. And it just kept going on to 15, and we were like, oh my gosh, we're watching something. I guarantee this is going to be on Sports Center. But he broke Mark Gubicza's team record for the strikeouts in a single game. Uh, and Greinke had a one-hit complete game against the Seattle Mariners, a one-hitter. So that was one of his best games as a Royal. So I got to see maybe one of his best ones. He had a one-hitter, so
Nice. I'm surprised they had 15 Ks to actually like put out there because I
yeah,
wouldn't expect 15 of them. You'd
right,
be like, yeah, we'll take 12. We'll be fine.
right.
That's pretty cool.
Trivia question. Trivia
Yeah.
question. If you saw that line of Ks, what does it mean if one of them's backwards?
So the differentiating factor between a forward or a backwards K is
Yes,
whether that strikeout came on the third strike being a swing and a miss, or if they got caught looking.
that is exactly correct. You know
I
your
know
base.
a little something about something. Um,
Yes.
one more Royal story for you.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's the record. I want to say it is. Don't quote me on it. You're the Royals expert, not me. Um, I'll tell you the story after I ask the question. Do you happen to know what the longest innings wise, the longest Royals game in history is?
Oh man.
If you don't know, that's
I
okay.
I don't know, but
It's
something's
okay.
yelling at me about the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay.
We were in a long game with them.
So I don't remember who it was against. Dude,
Six.
I was young. I was probably, I mean, I don't even remember what year it was, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
But I think I was elementary school. So this would have been like in the like early 90s, probably, if I had to guess,
Okay.
early to mid 90s. I don't remember much about the game. Being young, that was a long time ago for me now. But it was 2 games in one. It was an 18 inning game.
Oh wow, you got your money's worth there.
Yeah,
That the
yeah, times
first
a
game?
couple.
Wow.
Mm.
Was that the first one? Okay, so I wonder how many people stayed for the second game. I mean,
Oh, no, no, no. It was a 2-for-1 in the fact that the one game went 18 innings, which
oh,
the
yeah,
equivalent of
plus
2 games,
nine.
not a
Okay, I
doubleheader.
thought you were speaking of a
Oh,
double header. I was like, oh,
that place would have been empty by that point.
yeah, that'd have been crazy. But yeah, you did get your money's worth regardless on that double game right there.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, it was pretty
yeah,
cool.
I was at also game. I don't know if it's the longest Royal streak, but it was definitely one of the longest, and it was 14 games, and it was in 1994, and I was at that game, and then not too sure if it was the 13th or 14th game I was at. I think we lost to maybe Seattle Mariners when we finally went on the road, but we won our last home game to continue that streak, and it was pretty awesome to be a part of that too.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we can string together some games this year. I don't really see 14, but hey, who knows? Bobby Witt comes on and energizes this whole lineup, and some of these young players just get string together their hits, and we play some small ball, and who knows what could happen? We can amaze the whole world. Who knows?
for sure. With the way that the lockout's going, I mean, it could end up where you win 14 games, you're undefeated, and you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, you know what's funny is you're not one of the best teams, but the Royals are one of those teams that'll do this. Is they'll jump out of the gate really
Mm-hmm.
quick, like a 9-0 record. And just like they did in I think 2003 with the Chiefs at the same time, to where Trent Green's Chiefs went 9-0 and before they played freaking Cincinnati Bungles to end that streak. And
Was that the Chad Johnson year when Chad Johnson guaranteed victory? And
that was you
yeah,
had both Kansas City teams at the same time 9-0, and it was freaking awesome. So
freaking
freaking
awesome,
awesome, man.
man.
Drake did that.
So we talked about Grinky real quick. Before we wrap up, I always like to kind of share, some of who we like, some of our personality, what our past is with our teams. So we talked about Grinky. Who's your favorite, or maybe couple favorite pitchers in Royals history?
Oh man, I'm thinking of when I'm growing up, and it's gonna be one of those pitchers that nobody really liked or whatever, but I just liked, and it's a tie between Tom the Flash Gordon. There's just something about him.
Blue glove and all.
Yeah, I just love. Yes, he was unique. I just love watching him, and also Jeff Montgomery whenever he closed down
Yeah.
the games as a closer. But as I got older, see, these are two different answers: the young answer and then the older answer, and it's got to be Wade Davis. It was just amazing seeing him just close those games out. I guess I like closers a lot better because
Sounds like it.
that anticipation and the game comes down to it, and they just need that final strike. So it's funner to see those closers. So they come to mind.
Yeah, more fun for sure. Um, I'll try to match you here, and I'll try to go. When I was younger, and then as older. So,
Yeah, yeah.
younger with the first one that comes to my mind is Saberhagen.
Mm-hmm.
Saberhagen was dominant. That was like when I started watching the Royals. I was young at that time, so
Yeah.
Saberhagen was like the first person I gravitated to. I liked Montgomery a lot too, who you mentioned. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking more new school, man, that's tough. We've had a lot of good pitchers off and on. We actually talked the other day about, what was it, 2014, 2015, and then the whole staff up top to bottom was like
Yeah.
stellar.
Wow.
Rest in peace. I really liked Ventura. So he's definitely way up there on my list. I think I'll probably go with Soria. I'll stick with you on the closer side, but
You know, he
Soria's 12-6 drop
Mhm.
was ridiculous.
Yeah. He just retired this year.
Yeah. Oh, look, caveat. Let me make sure I express Soria on his first go round,
Yeah.
so that everybody knows.
It's
Uh,
he had one of the worst names for a pitcher. Walking. That's not
Walking.
what you want to do as a pitcher. Is walking. Bring on walking.
fair, fair point. Well, Sean, obviously, I know you're going to keep everybody up to date with the lockout, what's going on there. I'm going to keep you guys
Yes.
all up to date with what's going on the Chiefs. We got a lot of draft coverage coming up. I'll be providing you with info in regards to the combine, the draft, free agency. I will keep you very up to date as we move through the off season. But I appreciate you guys joining us here on the Combo Show. Again, my name is Kevin Britton, host of the 12th Man at Arrowhead Drive. Tune in here on Stadium Drive Sports every Sunday and Wednesday for all of my Chiefs content. Once again, Sean, tell them.
Hey, gotta let you know I'm always here for you every Monday and Thursday, usually on the Royals off days. You look at the schedule, you know you're a Royals fan. If there's nothing to watch during that day, you can always watch The Royal Way. Me, hosted by Sean Barr. I'll see you then.
Absolutely. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in. Until next time.
Thanks, guys.
Hello,
Did you hear that?
guys.
No,
Hey,
it's like electronic or something going on with my computer, man.
are you not going to introduce me either?
That's what happened on my first episode, man. The same stuff. You know what it was? It was a computer program that Stadium Drive Sports put in. I swear they told me it was like I forgot what it was called, but it's like an AI program that hears our speech, right? And whatever we ask it or say, it answers it like Alexa or Siri or whatnot. It'll do that. I swear it happened. I cut my episode off, and then afterwards I was talking to my computer, bro. I was like, it was a regular conversation. I forgot the name of the program, but it should be on your computer too if it's making those noises.
I'm just here to help.
It sound like electronic or something?
The Royals' longest game in history was June 6, 1991 at Royals Stadium. The game was against the Texas Rangers. It was 18 innings long. Brett Saberhagen was asked for his thoughts after the game. He said, "I don't know, I think I enjoyed it." Was that today or yesterday?